Hello everyone, welcome back to another kind of playthrough deck tech, couple matches going thing we got going on here in the new Disney Lorcana card game. Now today I got something interesting for you guys. I have something I want to build around, kind of a little niche I wanted to fill and see if it kind of would work. So let's stop talking here, get to the deck, and here we are. I'm calling this Tamatoa Ramp. So we are taking a lot of the traditional elements, I should say traditional, game's not been out for very long, elements of the Sapphire ramp strategies with one jump ahead, fishbone, quill, bell, and things like that. Notably not playing the Mickey, needed more inkables, but and combining those with Tamatoa. Now, Tamatoa is a character that whenever you play it, and whenever it quests, you can return an item from your discard to your hand. Not really utilizing that too much in this deck, but the ability Glam, he gets additional quest counter lore for each item you control. And what I've been finding is some of the best items are Fishbone, Quill, and Beast Smear. Now there's only 8, so it's not too many to take to full advantage, but if this thing can quest for 3, as well as being an inkable character, I think that's pretty powerful, since it has, 8 willpower to kind of protect itself and 5 strength to really fend off anyone who's trying to challenge it. Let's go through a quick walkthrough of most of the other cards in the deck. We have the Tinkerbell package, Tinkerbell Tiny Tactician, as well as Tinkerbell Giant Fairy. I think pretty much a staple of all steel decks. That's going to be probably 4 of each in almost every steel deck. They're just probably the best combination of cards you can play in the game, providing you with good offense and good defense against early swarms. Captain Hook is an early package there, just Captain Hook and Fire the Cannons, your 1-cost cards, sorry Flounder, to really take advantage of some of the people trying to defend with Simba, the 2/3 bodyguard, and just, be going second there. You always need something to kind of keep the game going longer, which we're trying to get to our big plays. Tamatoa, kind of Tinkerbell's big play, but can come down early. Also to buy time and kind of fight off some aggression, we have Prince Eric, something I've really been finding. I've liked this Prince Eric, the 3rd point of willpower there, and on the front side when you're attacking or challenging, getting 3 attack again gets to that 3-point mark, which I think is going to be pretty important. Bell, strange but special as always, helping us get to the late game, and also another win condition if the game goes really long, getting to be 5 questing, which is a huge amount. Now Aura, the 5-cost shift, 5-cost 3 shift character that provides ward, so it helps protect your Tamatoa if it comes down, as well as just fending off some early aggression there, being able to shift on top of the smaller Aura, which is mostly there as fodder. You need something early, and it quests for 2 against somebody who's not doing anything, so it kind of puts a little bit of pressure on winning the game. Beasts, probably also going to be mainstay in most steel decks. There's very few item removal, and that's one of my qualms with the game right now, is that only steel has answers to items, and the best items are steel. So it's really the best item being Beast Mirror, I believe. Really a bit of a tension point there for as far as colors go. I wish another color had access to a way to destroy an item. Probably Emerald. Emerald's, in my opinion, right now the weakest color. Doesn't really have anything going for it proactive that you really want to do, and doesn't have ways to remove things or get things going. But moving on, Robin Hood, another kind of filler card, helps refill your hand when you're playing things out with 1 jump ahead, putting things in your inkwell with Fishbone Quill, which gets past the uninkable cards to make use of your 1 jump ahead without paying for it later. Beast Mirror, as I said, probably I think one of the best cards in the game, being able to just draw cards late in the game, and having your biggest threat Tamatoa be inkable is a big part of why I think that this card could be good, is just being able to play it out with Beast Mirror, and then the late game when you draw one, play it with Beast Mirror to have it quest for additional amounts of lore. Hades, also I think one of the best Sapphire cards there, just just cheap enough to where it's okay that it's uninkable. I think 7's the benchmark for that. I don't think anything above that, without the ability to shift, of course, like Elsa, is really where you want to be. Uninkables that cost 8 or more are kind of hard for me to get to, but Hades, nope. Good card to kind of answer big threats there. And I haven't played this deck yet. I wanted to give it a try. We also Let It Go as additional stable removal for Sapphire there. But let's talk no more, kind of get to the games here, and away we go. Where are we going? All right, here on Pixelborn. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me where to get the program. I don't actually remember. Someone helped me get it set up there, so I do apologize there. I would try Googling it. I think they have a Discord for the program itself with any kind of Q&As on how to get it set up, but I don't actually have a link for it, unfortunately. But let's get to the games. All right, pretty heavy. I'm probably going to get rid of all of these. There's nothing that costs less than 4. And while Bell is good, it's not that good. All right, we're looking for, just these kind of cards. Okay, Probably the better half for our deck to draw early. Kind of ironic that we switch sides of the deck from the heavy cost stuff to the cheaper stuff. I'm not sure the programming behind all this stuff yet, but who knows. Now, going first, I don't think I need to play Captain Hook. I think I'm just going to probably ink it. Or I guess I'm going to hold it, I think, because I can... I think I'm going to ink it. I have a second copy of Fishbone Quill. There might be a chance I want to play this out on the second turn, but I'm not going to play it here. I might play Prince Eric and just ink this, but... I'm a pretty big fan of our one-cost cards in ramp decks are mainly there for when we're on the draw and going second, on the draw going second. Ways to kind of just help check early aggressive one-drops there, and I don't really see the need to play them out, but going first is a big takeaway from that. Could play Eric, but this isn't really threatening too much. I want to build towards something a bit bigger, quicker. So let's just one jump ahead. Because I don't really want to use Eric to sing. Even though this is a song, which I forget all the time, I haven't sung it yet, so... Certainly situations where you could, maybe with Grandma Tala, to be in the super aggressive ramp strategies, kind of getting to the big cost cards as fast as you possibly can. Ooh, Emerald. All right, so we have an Emerald Steel deck. Now, Beastmare is pretty good against Flynn Rider. It lets you just kind of refill after you have to discard some cards from your hand. Here, I'm kind of interested in getting Tink down. Now that I have the Tinkerbell Tactician, I really like the idea of just being able to attack into Captain Hook next turn and then shoot down Flynn Rider. Now, I don't believe that they're going to let me do that, meaning they're not going to let me, they're not going to quest with this Captain Hook with Tinkerbell out, but they might. I wouldn't if I was them, but I think Flynn Rider is an okay thing to have happen, and I'm still, even if they do quest with Flynn, assuming that if they play Tinkerbell, I still got a card on my hand, that's fine. I do have Beast Mirrors. I'm going to play a 5th resource next turn, so that I can start activating the Beast Mirrors. I don't mind having 2 out in this kind of game, but we'll see. We'll see where we go with this. Cheshire Cat. When it's challenge and banish a challenging character. Up there questing, make me discard a card. Okay, so they're heavy on the discard. I don't think we're going to be using much to ramp because we're going to have a lot of our cards being discarded anyway. They don't have the discard 2 effect, so that's nice. Alright, so let's play a Beast Mirror out, and we're going to shift onto here, attack the Flynn. And what we're going to be able to do here is hit the Flynn, and then shoot down the Cheshire Cat. It asks me what card I would discard. I'm discarding the second Tinkerbell because I want to have this Beast Mirror to start getting some advantage back. Now this is only when it's challenged and banished, so it's not actually when it's dealt damage and banished. So we get around the clause of this getting rid of our Tinkerbell here. The bad news from all this is that we're down to 1 card in our hand, and they do have the ability to deal 1 additional damage from their Captain Hook in play and finish this off, which is a bit of a bummer, but what can you do? We have a Beast Mirror to start back up. Right, there's their own Tinkerbell. If they hit here, it could have been a setup to start... it could have been set up to play their other Tinkerbell. Now, because they can Tinkerbell off of here, I don't think I want to quest here. I think I'm just going to play this out, even though it is an answer to a potential Tinkerbell, as an ink and Beast Mirror, and draw cards. Now let's just pass here. I don't want to have my Tinkerbell vulnerable, and by leaving it upright, they cannot freely kind of loot away the card just by drawing and discarding there. So we're kind of in a little bit of a standoff here, one that does get broken by a card like Tamatoa. So we'll see. Ooh, Cusco. Okay. So whenever it's challenge or banished, they banish my character. That's not good for me. So I'm going to play my stuff out. Debating if I want to use Spell. I think I'm just going to ink it and then draw a card. You really want to, keep the ball rolling with this. I think I just hit here, so that if they do want to quest to this, I can attack it and then finish off the Tinkerbell. So let's ink here and draw a card right away, because if we draw something that costs 3 or less, we can play it. Not something that costs 3 or less, but still a good card, because it'll help finish off the Captain Hook if we just play it from our hand without shifting. It is important, especially in Beast Mirror decks, where you sometimes play cards in opportune moments, where it's not actually finishing off a card, to think about where you're going to position your damage. Because you could have easily been like, well, I'm going to finish off this Captain Hook, and that's that. But from where it stands, I think this is a bit better. So they're going to be able to get rid of my Tinkerbell by trading off here, and then I'm going to shoot down their Tinkerbell. Ooh, that's a good one. Plan stays the same here. So let's hit this. And I'm going to select this Tinkerbell to deal damage to. They're going to select my Tinkerbell to banish from Cusco's ability. So we both lose our things, but that's okay with me here. And I'm just going to play this other Tinkerbell out, finishing off their Captain Hook. So we're trading resources back and forth, but again, Beast Mirror is really just the card that's going to win this game for us. We're not playing a fair game until they play Beast Mirror out. All right, Hans, that's a good card for us to hit with Hades. All right, I'm going to quest here. Just because the reason I can quest here is because I'm going to ink this, so it's going to go away. And if they Tinkerbell on top of this, if they shift on top of it, it's only going to deal 4 damage and it has a point on it, so it can't finish off my Tinkerbell. So let's play this out, give them a resource, which I don't really like giving them resources here, but that's fine. We have to start doing that eventually. Kind of a drawback of playing Hades, of course, but still powerful enough to where I'm okay with giving them an ink when we're drawing 2 cards a turn, pretty much. Up, they conceded. They had enough. That was too much for them. They could see the writing on the wall, as it were. And with 2 heavy questers there, 2 lure a turn, and the advantage of drawing extra cards with Beast every turn is then having no board, they kind of threw in the towel. So that was pretty sweet. Let's give it a go again. Jump right back into our match. We do a couple matches here. All right, going second. So we are going second this time. Big difference than going first is that I want to try and find a card that costs 1. I'm going to keep up Prince Eric just in case I don't find something, but I'm going to get rid of everything else because it doesn't help me in the early game. There's no catch-up potential with Fire the Cannons or Tinkerbell or anything like that, or a 3-cost card to accelerate. I do have Belle, but not really what we're looking for here. All right. So no early answers, but we do have some ways to draw cards. With Tinkerbell, we can draw a discard and let it go to help remove things that are too big. I'm going to start by getting rid of one of these let it goes. Don't think I need both, but who knows. They inked an Aladdin, so they're playing Ruby something. We'll find out maybe. Or maybe they're playing all Ruby. There's no real reason to play a single color right now, a single faction, but who knows. Ruby and Amethyst. So similar to the deck we played before, in a previous video I've done, where it was a Ruby Amethyst deck. They're looking to go very long, I believe. So I'm actually just going to play this Beast Mirror out. I'm not going to play Eric. I don't really think I need it. It's going to be better served to me as ink. And you got to make those decisions early on. It could be better to see they're going to get rid of a Donald Duck here. It could be worth saying that I want to play my unit out, my character, so that I can challenge any kind of pressure, but they're really not going to be putting any pressure on us. So let's just use it as an ink because my other cards are more valuable. Tinkerbell. All right, they played a Maleficent. So keeping the cards flowing. Good thing we have Beasts to answer this Magic Mirror, because that kind of card is very similar to the 2 Beast Mirrors effect. Being a little bit cheaper and being inkable is why I think that this is significantly better than Magic Mirror, the inkable part of it. But who knows? This will still provide the similar advantage going late, given the amount of time. All right, Rafiki. Cool. All right, so we have interesting points here. So I can do a few things. First one is I can just fire this off in a Maleficent, but I don't really see the need to right now. I can use this to exert and draw a card, and then discard a card. That's an option. I think I'm going to do that. It does let them take down my Tinkerbell, but remember, we're playing a deck that has the bigger Tinkerbell, which can deal 1 to this, so this getting 2 points on it is pretty important. And if I really felt the need to, I can just fire the cannons at it. So let's just draw and discard. Ooh, a Belle. That's really good here. Okay. I'm actually going to, I believe, discard this fire the cannons just so that I can play a Hades next turn and get my hand pretty empty. I guess I might want to keep it just a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of an uninkable card here because I have to ink 3 times. So let's get rid of Let It Go. Now, again, of note, most other colors don't have ways to answer items, so I don't need the second copy right now. I can just wait. But yeah, we're going to go straight to Hades next turn, if we need to. Currently, we don't need to. We can just use stuff to challenge, but I want to get this out of my hand so that I can start beast mirroring them with a huge resource advantage. We're going to get to 7 next turn while they're still on 5, just from Belle. Belle is a really big way to just go from 4 to 7 instantly, because you play on turn 4, and then on the 5th turn of the game, after you play your 5th resource on turn 4, because you can play an extra, you go straight to 7 if you have the ink for it. So discarding the Fire the Cannons there, as you can see, leaves me with 2 inkables, in case I didn't draw one, to get things going. So they decided not to... Interesting. I don't really want to play Hades out here. Let's draw with Tinkerbell. Okay, another Tinkerbell. I'm going to get rid of the Aurora here. And I don't really want to do anything with this because I want to leave it in play for now, I believe. I don't want to ink anything. What can they play that costs 6 that they would want to use? I feel like we're going to get into a position where they're waiting for me to use this. I really don't want to use this anything except for a high priority card, but I'm going to be down to resources, and I don't want to play too much to the board because they can play Be Prepared. So let's just play... Because if I play this out, they can go Be Prepared me. Because they can go get an ink from this to 6, and then play one man to 7, and then just kill everything in play. I think I'm going to play a second Tinkerbell there, and... This is an interesting decision point, because I want to get the Beast Mirror going quickly, just to get an advantage that way, but I don't want to use this Hades right now, because it's such a key turn for me to go to jump up the curve. But maybe I'm supposed to. Then I can play Tinkerbell and Beast Mirror out. Okay. Sure, I guess I will. So let's actually ink this and attack this here so they have nothing in play. Alright, so if they Be Prepared, okay. I've thought about it. I made my decision that it's okay if that happens here. I have 7 ink and I have a Beast Mirror going, so that'll be my game plan, even though they have a lot more cards than me. In our discard, also of note, if at some point I am able to draw and discard with Tinkerbell and discard an item, that is a way that I can use Tamatoa's ability to bring it back. It doesn't happen too often in this deck, but it can happen. All right, they got 4. They're going to use Magic Mirror here with 4 ink. We'll see. I hope they're playing a Magic Broom, so they're going to shuffle away a card in a banished area into the deck, putting back a Rafiki. Okay. That's fine with me. And a Donald Duck. All right, so it doesn't feel like they have Be Prepared, because I feel like that would have been a good turn to do something with that. But let's see what we got here. I think I want to play... All right, so I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to finish this off here, make this exchange, play my bell out, and then ink this Tinkerbell, and then use Beast Mirror. Trying to get to a higher lore count, or higher ink count for Tamatoa. Ooh, that's really good. And I'm doing this exchange here so that they can't finish off my Hades when I quest with it here. Which I feel like it's a good time to do it. Now this is saying I can ink it. I'm not gonna. I got a Magic Mirror I want to get rid of. You'll note in this deck there's no Grab Your Sword. I think that card has been a bit overhyped. It is good, and especially good against the Amethyst, Amber aggro decks, the ones that are playing Lilo and Maleficent, the 1-cost 1/1s. But I found that Bell is just enough to, or not Bell, Tinkerbell, big Tinkerbell is just enough to kind of make that okay, not be something to worry about here. That's so close to that, but I really want to keep drawing cards. So let's ink this. Play our Beast out. Blow up your Magic Mirror. You'll note I'm waiting for animations to go through just because it gets a little bit glitchy if you try and do more than one thing at once on this program, so I'm just kind of waiting. Alright, Maleficent's a good way to rebuild. Looks like they had to Be Prepared. Maybe they're trying to bait me to play something else out. Ooh, the Queen. That one's a bit rough. So here I'm going to ink this, I believe. And I'm going to put the points of damage on the Queen, not the Maleficent, so that I can trade off with this here if I need to. Let's ink here. I want to kind of save this, but I also really want to get this to the board. And I can cancel because it's an optional ability to destroy it. So Queen's pretty good. I underestimated this card too when I first started, I believe. It just was a card that I thought would be too slow, but somehow how the games play out, it's not as aggressive as the game as I thought it would initially be. And it really plays into the slower, grindy games when you can just use things to buy time. All right, they drew a card here, and then they use this here. So they kind of have their own, Beast Mirror effect with the Queen here. I think I've seen versions of this deck running around, not only the one that we played, but also just in general. All right, let's ink this. I know I want an extra item for Tamatoa, but I also might want to be able to play a Tamatoa if I draw it, and I need to get to 11 to do that off this activation. That's not good. All right, let's trade off with the Queen here. I'm just going to ink the top card of my deck because that card's pretty dead here. One of the downsides of playing some of the ramp cards is you draw them late and they're not good. Oof, Aladdin. Okay. We're in a little bit of trouble, falling a little bit behind. We need to find a Hades pretty quick. All right, well, that's good. Let's get rid of this Aladdin. They get an extra ink, but that's fine. And there's a Tinkerbell, which is great. It'll finish this off next turn. Excuse me. Just a second. Uh-oh. Okay. So I can play both these out, and I think I'm going to have to here. This will finish off Maui, which is good. And I need something to help pressure the Elsa, and Tinkerbell is just that. And this helps protect the Tinkerbell. So we didn't use Beastmare that turn, but I think we needed to buy a little bit of time here. So if they quest with both, I can use Tinkerbell to hit the Maleficent, deal 2 to the Elsa, and then hit it with the Aurora. Ooh, Dragonfire, that's rough. They probably shouldn't quest with this one. Gives me a free way to put damage on this, but that's okay. I'm going to play this out. I know I can't draw a Tamatoa off of this by playing this out first, but that's fine. Okay, so let's hit here and then deal 2 to this so that this will trade off. Because it wouldn't finish it off anyway. It only dealing, it had 5 health left and 5 willpower, and this is dealing 4. So I'm not going to shift on top. I'm just going to play it out. I could see this being a board that they quest and then be prepared me. I've extended enough into trying to deal with this Elsa to where certainly a play. We're pretty far behind on the lore count, but I still feel like we're a little ahead depending on how this turn goes, just because we have Beast Mirror going. But we'll see. We'll see what the next few turns holds. It's been good. Good back and forth. There's a lot of decisions there about how to use Beast Mirror and when to ink things versus hold them, and got a lot of good back and forth counterplay with some powerful cards you've seen our opponents play, such as the discard. It looks very similar to the deck we played in the last video. Dragonfire and Donald Duck are a little bit different than what I did in Magic Brew. I'm guessing they have the Mickey, but who knows? Okay, so they did quest and then do that. One jump ahead. All right, well, that's kind of just like drawing a card on ink. I have to ink, so it's the same thing. I'm going to play this out. I need to get something going here. Ooh, another Elsa. All right, they have a little bit more top end than we do, but I'm okay with that. Ooh, Hades is answered right back. That's why we're playing 4 people. They just keep coming. That's why how we drew it up, right? Okay, be prepared. A little awkward here. We're probably not going to be able to draw with Beast Mirror because I probably don't want to kill whatever they play. Maybe I'll play that just to... Yeah, my hand... I have 10 cost and then 3 left over for Beast Mirror, so yeah. I might play that out, so I'm going to hold it. I don't need more than 13 ink, I don't think. Maybe. Ooh, Maleficent. So they have quite a good amount of top end too. All right. Okay, so I'm going to, I believe, play this out. So we have 26 cards left. I haven't seen a Tamatoa. I could draw and discard with this. I think I'm going to actually. Discard the Quill, play some cards out to be able to hit with, and then draw. This is a little bit greedy because now a Grab Your Sword's pretty good, but I don't know if they're playing Grab Your Sword and Be Prepared, and all those other cards are not inkable, but hey. We've given them a couple resources, I think with 2 Hades, or maybe even 3, as well as Let It Go. So we've given them 4 of their resources. So it's kind of a disadvantage on our side, giving them a little bit more back that they don't have to ink then. Okay, it's an Aladdin. All right, let's play this out. Not shifting it. Drawing a card. There's another Hades. All right, we're going to just trade this off here. I don't want to quest here because it's going to be essentially the same as if they just quest, except I'm losing a card. Because if I quest here, I'm going to only gain 3 lore, and then they get to hit this back and then make me lose 2. So I'm only gaining 1, and they're still gaining the 2, but I'm losing my Prince Eric that can help challenge. Dragonfire, okay. I'm interested to see if they quest here or not. Okay, well, let's take a little bit of advantage of that by doing this here. I'm just going to play this out. I need more things to quest with. And they played 1, be prepared, 2, be prepared, 3, be prepared. So they have to have the 4th one. All right. Not 4th, be prepared in the top 26 cards. 3's enough. Plenty. We got to start ending the game now, I believe. We're ahead. We finally pulled ahead. Ooh, there's Elsa. Well, it does get them 3 lore, which is rough. And we don't have any more ways except for Let It Goes to really ice the board down, but... Oh, wow. Okay. Belle is really going to help pull ahead here. There's our Tamatoa finally. Okay. I'm going to quest with both of these. It's just a race now. And we do have an item to bring back. We do have the Fishbone Quill. Ursula's Cauldron. No, that's not as good as the Mirror. I don't know how I feel about this card. It lets you look at the top 2 and put them back. I know it doesn't cost anything to activate, but it's a whole card for that effect. And I don't see that being too worth it. Yeah, that's totally fine here. Okay. So I am going to trade these off. Let's just trade here. Okay, they've had enough. The Bell really is hammered home there. Showed why it's so good late in the game. It's a quest for 5. Now we didn't get to do Tamatoa, but you know we were gonna, and it would have gotten it would have been 3 lore, and again it's inkable, so it's pretty nice, flexible there. Let's do one more here. See how it goes. Jumping right back in. Again, I don't have the link for this. It was someone helped me install it on my computer. So I don't have the link for this program. It's called Pixelborn. If you're able to look it up, that would be how you'd get it. So I think I can't keep Tamatoa early. It'll just be inked, and I don't really want that. I want to try and get it out here. But I'm going to keep the Tinkerbell and the Aurora. Maybe not the Aurora. I want the Eric. This Aurora is mostly filler, but it could have been good to hold, just have something to ink, because this Fire the Cannons actually is going to be a little bit awkward at times. But let's just ink, let it go, and pass. See what I mean about having a 1-drop? I don't really want 1-drops in my deck. I just have to play a couple because I need to be able to check opposing 1-drops. This might be the same person, Donald Duck there. Okay. So let's get rid of this. I think I'm just going to get rid of the Eric. Play Beast Mirror out. Best card in the deck. Yep, it looks like the same deck we're playing against. Might be the same person, don't know, but all right, let's get rid of this Aurora. Tinkerbell time. Tinkerbell helps us discard the Fire the Cannons or other cards that we'd otherwise not be able to ink later in the game, or we're trying to churn through our deck a bit. It might be what it's used for here if they don't do anything very threatening, but they do play Rafiki and things like that. So I'm guessing a Maleficent's coming down here. Yep, Maleficent. This kind of card exists in most card games. You know, just a kind of run-of-the-mill draw card effect. Let's draw here because I want to find an inkable. Well, I don't want to actually ink that one, so let's just discard the 1 jump ahead. Now we have to kind of decide what we're doing, because I don't really want to use this Fire the Cannons. I think I'm going to discard it. I'm going to play the Bell out, and I think I'm going to ink a Bell. But I actually don't think I'm going to ink anything else in my hand, because I really kind of want to play both these cards out. Because I'm not going to use this effect here. We're just going to pass. Even though I could play an extra ink, I don't have much I want to ink right now. I got to make use of this Fire the Cannons, whether it be by discarding it, or if they play something I want to shoot down for 2. We'll have to find out. All right, they are in the tank here. Rafiki. Okay, so it looks like they might hit both things to that. No, okay. So, I really want to, again, start getting this stuff going. So I might ink both of these and then play Fire the Cannons out and play the Beast out, killing their Magic Mirror. I could draw a card, which I didn't want to charge this into here, so they must have a Maui, I'm guessing, in their hand. So let's not give them a target for Maui this turn. So let's ink this, and I know that I'm trying to think of what to do here. Let's just play this out. I really want to use this here. It's got to be just killing something straight up, I guess. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to draw. I'm not going to quest. I don't want to put my things vulnerable to a Maui. And we don't have anything clogging up our hand like a Hades where I have to kind of consider giving them ink earlier in the game to where they could ramp into their re-prepares early. So not really about doing that in this moment. All right, they're using it to draw, which is good. It shows that they didn't sing it, but they did. So there's the queen. Okay, that's something I got to answer. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with drawing with this effect. Although that could be problematic, actually. No, I guess I could just discard whatever if it's bad to draw. All right, so let's discard the fishbone quill because I want to get an item into my discard pile for potentially drawing with Tamatoa. All right, we're inking the Prince Eric and drawing a card here. Ooh, let's play another Beast Mirror out. I'm okay with this here, and I'm not really okay getting this Maui'd, so I don't think I'm going to do much with it. 2 Beast Mirrors going, and we do have something to return with Tamatoa, so that's cool. I was a little hesitant because if I drew something like Hades, it'd be a little awkward because I couldn't play it. There's the Maui we were talking about. Yep. Really looking for a big tank now. Okay, well, I'm going to ink this. So I might need to draw a card that costs 5 to be competitive here. That's awkward. That's awkward. I can't ink it, and I can't play it here. It's one of the worst cards to draw in that exact turn, but it's a good card, but you know. I don't think I can do much else. I might... The only option I have right now is to exchange this here, which I think is actually okay. Because I can't quest with it, even though they would trade, because if they have another Maui, I'd be in kind of a world of hurt there. Now is a good turn for them to play another copy of the Queen out or something like that. We're a little far behind in that regard because this Queen's left unchecked. Kind of what makes this card so good. It does line up very poorly against Maui specifically, but what can you do? Now they might be drawing all these cards, and that's kind of rough at times, but what can you do? So we're inking this, and we're playing out our Hades. Gives them a card back, so they've gotten 3 cards off that Queen. That essentially they got the ink from it that we just gave them. They got 2 card draws, which is a pretty big amount of advantage for them to gain. Inking and Aladdin here, that's kind of gross. I'm guessing there's a Maleficent in my future. Yep. This Amethyst Amber deck or the Amethyst Ruby deck is pretty sweet. All right, I gotta make sure I have as much resources for these Beast Mirrors as possible here. No. The one card we can't draw, you always show up at the exact wrong time. So that's kind of cool, even though we might actually decline to use the ability here. Because it would give us an extra card. If we draw an inkable, I'd want to draw an extra card with Beast Mirror. Well, that's... I'm going to ink this now because I have to draw extra cards to get ahead here each turn. Just to start double activating these things. Now our character is not as big as theirs, so I can't really challenge it too well, and that's a 3rd Maleficent. Jeez. Yeah, the Ruby Amethyst deck has a lot of top end. Alright, so let's deal... Can I deal 3 damage to anything quickly, like with a charge or with rush? I mean, no. Alright, inking, because I need to make sure I can play stuff like a Tamatoa. We got our Fishbone Quill back. As you can see, 2 extra lore has been given to this. Now I'm guessing, unfortunately, there's another big thing they're going to do or kill it. Yeah, their deck's just full of big, heavy things. So they're pretty good against fighting the other mid-range style decks. I consider this almost a control deck. Even though it's not a ramp deck, and they can't get to these things very quickly, they just can get to them, and that's pretty great. This kind of deck exists. Let's ink this. Again, we need as much resources as possible to play what we draw, because our best cards are expensive ones. Oh no, not enough. Reverse order would have been nice. I'd just have this in play, I guess, but this Captain Hook can help take down the Maleficent, which is nice. But they're going to gain 5 lore here, up to 13. We might not be in this one. We need to draw something big. They had a pretty good couple of turns that really led them to pull ahead here, but so it goes. A lot of back and forth, a lot of grinding here. If you think you could have done differently or would have done something differently, let me know. There's a lot that you can do in a game, and I don't claim to have all the answers quite yet. Eventually, but not for right now. Shuffle the magic mirror back in. That's a pretty good draw this game, yeah. That's pretty good. I think I have to ink this guy, because I'm going to need to activate a beast mirror here. So we're going to play this out. And before doing anything else, we should draw a card. I think we might be done for here. Yeah, let's just play it like this. I could have sung that. Would have singing that been better? No, I don't. This is going to challenge here well enough. I could have challenged with this, but I don't think that's right. Let it go. Okay, that can get us back in. So I have to make this trade here, and I think I'm putting the damage from this onto the Maleficent. It might look weird since it's not a trade, but I don't want them to be able to get rid of this. I guess what can they have? I'm not certain what they could have quite yet. I'm still going to put the damage on it, because I need to draw another Tinkerbell to finish that off really quick. But now Tinkerbell's threatening to kind of break up their board if they quest with too many things, or say they quest with Aladdin, I can attack Aladdin and then deal 2 to this Maleficent, and then say I draw a big Tinkerbell. That's my game plan to finish both these off. So if they quest with things and then I draw another Tinkerbell, that's good for me. But this Elsa is a big problem. Oh, okay. That's fine. I'm glad that happened instead of me losing a bunch of ink, but or them just gaining more ink over the course of the next 2 turns. But we need the other Tinkerbell right here. I have to ink this. I have to let it go this guy. And what we get? It doesn't look like we got there. Was it there? No Tinkerbells. Well, we didn't get to there. We tried. We had a lot. The triple Maleficents in a row was too much really to handle. This kind of Amethyst Ruby deck definitely has the late game covered in a lot of different aspects, even though we're able to draw a bunch of cards. Some of their cards just straight up kill ours when they played, and Elsa is insanely powerful. The Elsa we just put in their ink. It's not here anymore because it's in their inkwell, but this kind of deck is super cool. I'm going to let them finish me off here. But no, good games. We won the first game against this kind of deck, and then we lost the second there, but what can you do? You can't win everything. And again, this is the deck here on the screen. I did like it. I don't know if I'd change much. I did feel a little bit that maybe Grab Your Sword could have helped in some of the situations, just kind of clearing up big wide boards. Tamatoa didn't really get to do his thing, unfortunately. It might be too costly, and those kind of games where you're trying to play with Beast Mirror, you're playing stuff out early. While it is an item to play very well with Tamatoa, it might just be a little bit too anti-synergistic with trying to ramp and play out your hand all the time. But we had some good games. We had a lot of good games there. And we saw Aurora, the 5-cost Aurora, help protect in some games. They'd use Dragonfires when I was able to develop multiple threats in the second game that we played. Protected, they had Dragonfire that instead of my Hades or my big Tinkerbell. That was really kind of cool. Castlevania I haven't had come up too often, and the 2-drop Aurora didn't do too much. Prince Eric, again, these aren't the matchups for what we played against just now, but they're there because it's best of one, and you have to kind of have some answers for everything. But overall, I like the deck. Could use some work still. Maybe tinker with some of the numbers. No pun intended. Tinkerbell. Robin Hood could be maybe something else. Maybe that's your Grab Your Sword spot. It's a little awkward with trying to play stuff out with Beast Mirror because they don't always have a board until it's late in the game, and you're kind of running off the top as we saw. But hey, what can you do? But thanks again, everyone, for joining. We'll play again. We'll do another deck coming through. I'm going to try something with Emerald next time. I haven't played an Emerald deck quite yet. I do think it's the weakest color, but we'll try and see if we can make something work. It might be with Steel because Steel pairs well with pretty much everything, but who knows? But till next time, thanks, guys, for tuning in, and have fun.